Welcome in, everybody, and welcome here to, as you can tell, Rockingham Speedway here for the CSC Touring Championship race here with the trucks. There we go. Who are we looking at now? Cameron Romano. And this week we do have Soji Sakata on track. He and I are switching, as today we are doing a experiment. We do have a way of setting it up now. I was using Restream.io before, but now we have plugins with, thanks to Chris, CAHTV39, Chris Hood in our league, who was given who provided me with a link to a plugins for OBS that allow us to do multiple streaming. So we're streaming not only to Twitch, we're streaming to YouTube and our brand new Kick channel, kick.com/CSC Racing League. So if you want to go there and follow us, please do. I've got the chat I'm monitoring the chat here. We got 2 viewers on Twitch, nobody on YouTube right now, and 1 on Kick going. So with that, let's see. Right now, as you can tell, top of the boards right now is Brian Moore. He had just surpassed Soji Sakata, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up Brian Moore up to where, and we're going to interview some of our guys going on. So Brian Moore, it's Gary up here in the booth. I mean, hello. CM Punk. I didn't know you were here. I forgot about that. Well, I was going to say you were top of the boards, but Christian Barnes, Christian Barnes, who I've never heard of before. I've heard of this guy named Christian Burns, just passed you.
Motherfucker, he came in here out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't even see him join.
Yeah, this is his first. I just happened to look over at the stats and I saw that, which means driver's meeting. I'm going to have to hook up a push to talk where I can tell him what some of the rules are. Whoops, didn't think of that before. And he's not in the Discord chat, so it'll be a little hard to get him, but how's the truck feeling out there?
It's a little tight. You got to take the corners a lot slower than you can. You can't roll them like a lot of the other tracks.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's something like the I put in a setup I downloaded, or it would have been worse on the stock setups.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that's good to make it a little looser.
Yeah. Well, I'll warn you, I was doing some testing at Kern in the SRX, and it's going to be even worse.
Okay, that is good to know.
And I am not, I probably won't be here for that race anyway, so. But, Brian, what can we expect out of your number 10, was it Milwaukee car this week?
It is a Celsius car this week.
Oh.
But, it's, I don't know what to really expect. Now that I did have the fastest lap, and it was fast, but I hope I can kind of keep up with Christian Burns.
Yeah, and you're racing the Ram, correct?
Yep, I am racing the Ram.
Yep. All right. I'm refreshing my trading paints right now. Let me get to a. There we go. Now it updated to your correct car. The magic of TV, where things can magically change as we go.
Exactly.
All right, Brian, I'm going to send you back down. Good luck in the race, and please don't die out there.
I'll try.
Yeah. All right, that was Brian Moore, driver of the number 10. We don't have... I don't see Christian Barnes, who is racing with us. This is his first race. Most of us know him. Oh boy. Let's see if we can go over to Christian. There we go. There's his number 27 vehicle. Of course, most of us know him from the DOB TV Racing League, where he raced with most of us there for a season or two. Really good driver. I wish he was in the chat, the voice call where that. Yeah, and Cameron, I just took care of that as I was talking to Brian. But yeah, let's see. Derek, I would need to have the bot on. You know what? Let's bring up our broadcaster, our typical broadcaster. Let's bring up Soji Sakata, who is P3 on the board. Let me switch over to Mr. Sakata. Soji Sakata, it's Gary up here in the booth. You got a copy on me?
Absolutely, loud and clear.
Hey, how's it feel being in the car and not having to call a race?
It's definitely a change for sure. I'm not used to being on this side of the microphone. I'm used to being in your shoes. So
yeah,
definitely a different feel for me tonight.
Well, just remember, next week you're going to be back in the car again, probably with the driver's eye perspective as we go into Watkins Glen and the GT4s.
Yeah, that'll be a little easier, though, because I have some experience in the GT4s at Watkins. This will be my first ever race here at Rockingham, and it's in my worst oval vehicle, the truck.
Yeah.
I do not like the truck very much. I'm good in the ARCA car. I'm proficient in the Xfinity car or O'Reilly car. But in terms of, and the next gen, of course, I'm fairly well versed in. But
yeah,
new track in my worst vehicle. This is going to be a long night for sure.
Well, I tell you, be glad I'm running that I put the setup that I did on the car, or it would be even way tighter out there.
I already had to go in and tinker with that a little bit with my brake bias, my steering angle, or my steering offset angle, as well as my steering rack response ratio, because the stock one that was in there was a little bit too slow for my personal taste. Yeah. I was really struggling with it off the first lap there.
Yeah, no, the fixed setups that they have for this track and this and the trucks, it was just it tighter than a virgin's butthole.
I can believe that. This track promotes tight.
Yeah.
But it's also a very loose track to drive just because of how it's kind of built. The corners are very, very narrow, so despite the high banking, you're not really able to get a lot going on it is the problem, is you're kind of getting like trapped out here. I'm trying, there's the wall. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where my best entry and exit lines are, but like normally in a next gen, that line I just did in 1 and 2 should respond quite nicely, considering I'm entering high, exiting low, and getting the momentum. This truck doesn't really seem to care about that so much. It just wants to be exactly where it wants to be and nowhere else. Oh, crap. Yeah. Saw that coming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, that was still a good save.
Yeah, knocked the toe out of it pretty bad, though. That's where I'm going to be fighting all night tonight, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody's going to be fighting. It's not just you, sadly. But yeah, last season when we come here in the ARCA car, we were on the old configuration, on the old asphalt, and now it's the updated configuration with the newer asphalt. So
it's definitely less bumpy. I can feel that for sure.
Yeah.
While I've never raced here, I have run some practice laps in testing for like that ARCA race we did and stuff. I did run a few test laps there for that race. And the track is significantly smoother now, especially down in like the entry of 3 and the middle of 1 and 2. Big differences about right here. This used to be a real big bumpy patch.
Yep.
And then in the middle of 1 and 2, right down in the bottom and middle of the lanes there, that was where they were really, really bouncy. And it feels a lot better now than it used to.
Well, let's test your CSC knowledge. When we had the ARCA cars here last season, who was the pole setter?
I do not remember who the pole sitter was, but I remember that. Whoa! It was Derek who won the race.
Yeah, I ended up
calling that 5 car to the win.
I was the pole setter for that one. I still don't know how the hell I blazed that lap.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I was surprised because I'm like, you hadn't put down as good of a lap as some of the others in practice that day. And then all of a sudden, you just laid down an absolute heater in quali, and I'm like, whoa, where'd that come from? I remember that now.
Just like at Michigan earlier this season, I ended up just having a heater for the second lap.
Hey, now and then you just find a track car combo you like, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah. And
for me, I just found a new love for Kansas in the next gen, as well as a couple other places I've been racing a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you had you ended up winning your Apex race there, and all that. But, hey, at some point next week, I'll have to walk you through this process of getting it where you can stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. I'm having no issues doing it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's working good.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to get that set up on my side for when I go back to the broadcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we're going to send you back down to talk with everybody else. I'm going to pull up a couple of the other guys and talk to them. Good luck in the race. Turn left and don't die.
Yep, doing my best. Thank you much.
All right. That was Soji Sakata, our normal broadcaster, who's getting to race tonight. Of course, I'm keeping it on the cars. Next, I think I'm going to bring up one of the guys who usually doesn't race with us on this league, usually does the late model tour, and that'll be the number 20 truck of Frank Wanstead. Let me bring up old Frankie. Frank Wanstead, it's Scary up here in the booth. How you doing tonight, bud?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing good. That truck is a awfully bright. I think they can see it from the International Space Station, that Robin Hood paint scheme you got going on.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. That's the plan.
So how's the truck treating you tonight here at Rockingham?
Man, I have no clue where to brake, where to let off. I'm just going to be hanging on here tonight.
Yeah. Are you finding the truck really tight?
Yeah, that's what it's doing, is pushing.
Yeah, I downloaded the setup off Major's Garage and ended up using it, or the stock setup would have been even tighter. But yeah,
I'm sure it'll free up when these tires go away.
Yeah, and watch out for Chris in front of you. Good avoidance there, as Chris Hood ends up, tasting walls and all that.
That's right. That's why I got this bright truck, man. They got to see me tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, hey Frank, good luck tonight. Hopefully we'll be interviewing you later on, maybe with a win or a P2 or another good finish. And of course, it does feel good to have you out here racing with us on a Saturday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good day, bud. All right. That was Frank Wanstead. We know Frank. He is best friends of Derek Hilker. And they're also in charge of our the CSC Raceline stuff. So they're always in charge of that. They are the leaders in that. And with Frank, Derek, and Soji, they finished, I believe, 4th at the 12 Hours of Sebring. Well, next, let's bring up one of our admins. Let's bring up Chris Hood. Let me switch over to his truck. There we go, Chris Hood. Chris Hood, it's Gary up here in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Hey, that chorus car is looking good, except whenever it spun right in front of Frank Wanstead while I was interviewing him.
Yeah, you also missed it too. It took flight due to Cameron Romano hitting me. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough night out here.
Yeah, well, Cameron usually. Well, you know what? That wasn't as bad of a wreck as it could have been right there.
Yep. It's gonna be a rough one for the 13 machine out here.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, it's going to be a rough one for everybody. Of course, I had to download the setup off Major's Garage, or the stock setup would have been, even tighter. I mean, hard to believe there's something tighter than a virgin's butthole, but that setup was.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm over here. I'm doing the multi-streaming. Are you the one viewer we have on Kick right now?
I'm actually not.
Oh, we got one on Kick.
You might have random in there.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna have to hook up a push to talk button to give a driver's meeting, because we do have a new car in the field. That's the number 27 of Christian Barnes, who doesn't know our policies. So we'll have to let him know about that and the stage break and all that.
Fair enough. Yeah, we can get that done.
All right, Chris. I'm gonna send you back down. I'm gonna get my push to talk set up where I can do the driver's meeting before and that. Have a good day, bud, and good running out there, bud.
I appreciate it, man. I'll see you later.
See ya. All right, that was Chris Hood. That, of course, we've interviewed two of our administrators. While I'm here, let me go into my keybinds. No, I don't have my wheel. Yes, quick calibration. Keybinds. I need to. Oh, it's audio. I need to find my push to talk button. Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh, where is? There we go. Push talk. I'll do it on end. I'll have. Yes. Ignore that. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I've got that. All right. Since we've got that going on, we're gonna check in on the number 15, our other admin, the number 15 Vestra Furnishings. What was it? Toyota? Yep, Toyota Camry. Let's bring up the lost cause himself, Cameron Romano. Cameron Romano, how's it going out there, bud?
Hey Gary, how's it going up there?
All good. That Vestra machine's looking good out there.
Yeah, we still got to make some improvements on braking points and corner entry and exit, but
yeah,
we're hoping to keep up the momentum of the last couple of weekends in the late model series, and trying to see if that can transition over to the touring championship.
Yep, good. Well, hey, I mean, you're the winner of the last two races. I've called half of your wins this year, so. But looks like you and Derek are doing some nice close racing out there. But he got a little. Yep, he got a little loose on the bottom there. And I see finally we do have Christian Barnes in the driver chat, so I may pull him up here in a moment and give him the lay of the land and that. I've got my push talk button so I can do a post race interview, but I'm gonna go ahead and send you back down with the guys and try to finish up with Christian for the last minutes right before we go to qualifying.
Alrighty, you do your thing, man. Best of luck up in the booth.
All right, thanks, bud.
Alrighty.
All right, that was Christian. That was That was Cameron Romano. Let me bring up Christian Barnes. Oh. Christian Barnes, it's Gary up in the booth. How you doing out there, man? Welcome to the CSC Racing League and the Touring Championship.
I'm doing good. I haven't been able to race over here yet, and I thought tonight would be an interesting night to try and chill up. So.
Yeah. Hey, awesome. I'm glad you're here. Also, welcome in. But one thing I do want to let you know, we do have a scheduled pit stop. It will be at a stage break at lap 32. I'll announce a little bit of that later. And right there during the stage break, it's required four tires and fuel. So everybody has to take it or face a disqualification. That's one rule that's different from other leagues that you've raced in. And we do have a choose rule. Our choose rule is once you come out of the restart zone, you may make one move when it's coming 1 to green and choose either inside or out and then maintain. But it's from the exit of the restart zone to start finish. You may make one move.
I did see a few of the rules.
Okay.
I knew about the 32, but I didn't know about the rest.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, good luck in qualifying, but I mean, you're already sitting top of the boards. Hopefully, we'll get to interview you later for the victory. All right. Good luck in qualifying, bud.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. That was Christian Barnes. He is our new driver. So let's take a look. Brian Moore is coming out on track. Cameron Romano is now pulling out. There's Frank, Juan Set, Chris Hood. Yeah, the Celsius machine, the 10 truck, the 1016 truck. What? There's Soji pulling out for his out lap. Frank coming into turn 3 here. Coming with a good run on the bottom and out. Let's see. Brian Moore with the first across the line. Frank once had a preliminary pole. Brian Moore P2. Xavier Sanchez P3. Chris Hood currently P4 as we're running. There's Xavier. As we watch him on his second lap, he's coming out of 4, coming onto the front stretch. Let's see if he can better that position. Still, oh, P4. Whoa, Brian Moore. Brian Moore with a scorcher, a 23.434 for the pole currently. Let's see. I don't see anybody else on track. There's Soji. Soji coming across the line, P3. There's Derek Hilker. Get ready to come through. Let's see how he does today. Let's watch his. Let's see if there's anybody else. Soji. Yep. Just Derek racing. Alright, so I still didn't get a chance to interview. Well, Zach may not be around. Zach Davidson. Well, no, I think I saw Zach out there. Did I see the 19? Did he put up a practice lap? Maybe, maybe not. Derek's coming around. Let's see how he does. Coming off of 4. Down the front stretch, coming to the line. And he did P2, outside roll. Brian Moore is our pole sitter with Derek Hilker, second row. Frank Weinset and Sochikata make up row 3. Cameron Romano and Chris Hood, row 4. Then we have Xavier at the back. Hey, Cameron, I'm going to let you do the driver's meeting whenever you have a chance.
Okay, not a problem.
Thank you, sir.
If everybody's done with qualifying, we can just go ahead and advance the session.
Barnes is on track. Barnes on track. Kristen Barnes is now out there and didn't waste any time, coming to a 23.3. Let's see if he does any better on the second lap. 23.295, 5 thousandths quicker for the pole. Wow, there he goes. I think he may be the last of the cars. Let's see. Results. Yeah, Zach is not EOL. Derek needs an EOL. I will get that. Derek, I'll get that. Derek, I'll get that on the start. Okay. Let's see. Alright, got 30 seconds left in qualifying. So we're not going to bother advancing because it'll just go to the same stuff. And I'm sorry right now if for some reason If I have any alerts or blurps set up, they're not coming through. I need to do some research and see why.
Okay, drivers, welcome to The Rock. We got 80 laps of racing here. Mandatory stage break is at lap 32. Mandatory tire and fuel stop is required during said stage break. Points will be awarded for the finishing position in the stages. I believe since we have less than 10 drivers, it's going to be the first through fifth that score points. You get a point for leading a lap. You get points for leading the most laps. Choose cone is in effect, so like Gary mentions every week, shout out to Gary for commentating this race. Inside the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone, you can make one move either to the top of the track or to the bottom of the track to choose which line you're going to restart in. If you mess up on the choose and you call it out, just go to, that'll be an EOL penalty. If you don't call it out and we find out post-race, there will be repercussions. You got one fast repair and we have 3 green-white checkered attempts in the chamber. Let's try not to use them all. And like I say every week, raise hell, praise Dale. Do it for Dale, finish it for Biff. Go fast, turn left, don't die. Hallelujah. Hell yeah, brother. Amen.
All right, that was a great, great meeting from the one and only Cameron Romano, who he'll do a command to fire the engines like he always does. And we will be listening for that here after the warm-up session is done. Yeah, we got 80 laps here at Rockingham, and lap 32 will be our caution. We try to, instead of doing it a halfway caution right now, we're trying to do it more of a 40-60 split and have it to where people have to make pit stop, at least one pit stop in the final stage. And that next year we may try going to more of a halfway point, but still have the fuel set to where have to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, right now we have 2 viewers on Twitch and 1 on Kick.
And of course, as soon as you guys grid up, shut the engines off so I can give you guys the command.
There you go. And I think... Okay, good. I have my buttons set up for where I can do the penalty. And of course, for Derek, when we set up and go to...
And just a friendly reminder, the CSC Touring Championship is sponsored by the best energy drink brand known to mankind, W Energy.
W.GG.
CSCRL for 10% off your order at W.GG.
Yep. And tonight, my W is the bloody orange flavor. It's a... And Soji just played I Need a Dude Wipe. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear it. Now Soji gets to play with that. The track is very loose, so yeah.
And also, just a friendly reminder, today's oh shit moments of the race are brought to you by Dude Wipes for the code brown moment in your life. As
I was talking about the blood orange flavor, it is a fellowship with our partnership with Chainsaw Man. Of course, as they say, it's chainsaw cut blood oranges, so it's a good flavor and all that. But yeah, it can be, this track here can be a little hard to do. Let's see who's on track right now. Cameron's coming out. Let's go with let's see, here we go with the roof cam from the Vestra vehicle. So we're going up through here, coming into turns 3 and 4 on his outlap. We're going to ride with him. Whoop. out the back. Here we go. On the dash for going into turn 1. And see, he goes a little to about the middle of the track, washes out a little high as he comes down here. Coming down Thunder Valley into turns 3 and 4 over here at the Rock. And coming back to the line here. And completing his lap. As he hits the brakes and slides, that was a 23.997. And let's take a look. All right, here we go.
All right, everybody, when you grid up, shut the car off.
I need to switch to Derek. Admin. Here we go. Moved into line. There we go. Got Derek his EOL. Let's go with that. Let's go to the, hey, whoop, not leader.
Drivers!
Pace truck.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Here we go.
It's time!
All right, here we go. Got it going as we're going around, starting to go down. And we're going to be looking back on the car 27 and car 10 of Brian Moore. Ah! His car. There we go. I don't have it set for a few of the vehicles, but let me go ahead and switch to camera 1 or TV 1. Outside row, or the front row is Christian Barnes and Brian Moore. Row 2 will be Sochi Sakata and Frank Wanset. Row 3, Chris Hood and Cameron Romano. Row 4 will be Xavier Sanchez and Zach Davidson, and in the rear right now we do have Derek Hilker as we're getting ready to go green. Green. Here we go, coming to the start. Wow, Christian with a very good start. I have a feeling he may be running away with this. Whoa!
How are you doing there, bud?
I hit the wrong button to that. Let's see what happened here. Brian got loose and everybody checked up. Oh man, Frank come down into. Let's go and ride on board with Frank Weinstedt here. And let's go to his cockpit camera and see what he saw. As he's coming through, he just sees the car, the Brian Moore get loose and just did not realize Derek was there and turns right down into his best friend, so. There we go. Let's ride along with Derek. Let's go to the roof camera. And that, as he comes, there's Brian getting loose. Oh, was there a little contact with the 15? Yep, the 20 got a little touch from the 15 and sent him down into the 5. So let's catch back up with where everybody's at, and let's go to the pace car. And there we go. Now we're looking back on the leaders. I'll check Brian's car because I didn't have it set for the I didn't have the camera set for the new Ram. But yeah, it's amazing. It's like on some tracks, especially some of these older tracks, these more legacy tracks, it can be pretty hard to keep control of the car. At least here it's the more fresh asphalt and not the old asphalt from the 90s that was what we had when we were here last year, and it took a lot to keep the cars under control. I might have had the pole when we were here in the ARCA cars last year, but so I think they're on 1 to green, so let's look back. Oh wow, Soji on the outside. Yeah, so we're just looking back through the field. We got 2 cars coming, so let's go back to the pace car while we're waiting on them. Cameron Romano is now catching the field, and Brian is coming up right behind him. All right.
Green, green, green.
Ah! There goes the leaders. I was hitting the wrong button. There we go. I think I'm on Christian. Yep, I'm on Christian here for the lead. Oh, what a charge from Zach on the inside of Soji Sakata here. Let me focus on that battle. Zach Davidson, whoa, with a slide job right in front of the 44. Looks like it. Well, almost close contact there. Let's see if he can get back around. This is a good battle here for 3rd and 4th position. And back behind them, Xavier Sanchez is under attack from Zach had something happen, but still under attack from the 5 of Derek Hilker. We'll have to since we don't have anything going on right now, let's go to Zach and see what happened. Oh, he got up into the wall, got washed up tied into the wall, and it just cost him a few positions. So we're back live now. Oh, Brian Moore getting loose. Oh no. Oh, Brian. Oh, we saw the vehicle get way loose on him, and it just nosed into the wall, and there's just him not able to save it. At least he kept it off of the wall. That was a bit of luck, but he didn't end up killing the vehicle entirely. So let's go ahead and go back. We'll take to the most exciting camera, which hopefully it will do some stuff here. There we go, Derek. It switched to Derek here instead of the leaders. Oh, wait. Oh, Chris Hood into the wall right in front of Soji Sakata. Let's see what happened here. Comes off the corner right to the line, and it just danced around on him, and he could not save it. Oh man, so Chris is bringing his truck down to the attention of his pit crew. Hopefully he's still got his fast repair and won't spend too much time in the pits, while Christian Barnes is scooting away to an almost 2-second advantage over Soji Sakata. There's Soji. Let's go and ride on board with the nose camera, and you can just see the distance there just slowly creeping up. That just shows you how good that Christian Barnes truly is. And then now we're looking off the back of his vehicle back toward Derek Hilker. There we go, and Derek, we're looking off the nose of his vehicle up towards Sakata right now, so let's get back to the TV cameras. I'm looking for what could be some action here. Let's see if there's any really good battles. Oh, they're all strung out right now. Chris is back on track after making his fast repair. Chris, yeah, Frank was 4 laps down. Let's see. Let's see, where is Chris Hood running? Chris Hood, of course, P8, 2 laps down. Brian Moore, 1 lap down. And of course, Frank Wanset, in P9, 7 laps down. Yeah, and this track is a tough one to race. There we go. Now we're back on the leader. Oh, Frank's back on track. Good. Who's increased its lead to 2.9 seconds over P2. I mean, he is walking away from the field at this point. I mean, what can we say about the driver of truck 27? He's just tough out there. What is his rating? Of course, I'm going away from the thing. Let's look. Let me cut back to the thing while that's pulling up, and we can look. Oh yeah, I forgot. Go up here. Yeah, 3.3 thousand I rating. He is the highest in the field, and A class 2.6. You know, most of our drivers are A class, I think, except for 1 or 2. But yeah, he is just scooting away. There's Soji. There's a close battle here with Soji Sakata, Derek Hilker, and Xavier Sanchez. There we go. There's a good shot of the battle. You know what? I'm going to try to focus on Derek, where it may have all 3 of them in here. Yeah, I mean, they're going around. I mean, everybody is turning 23-second laps. Right now, Christian Barnes with the fastest lap of the session, 23.277. And everybody else's fastest lap is like 23.4, 23.5. But yeah, though, that 3, 2 3/10 of a second is really adding up. And right now, he's at 5.3 seconds up, and after that, whoa, where'd all the smoke come from? Let's take a look. Oh, Brian, let's see what happened to Brian this time. A long slide. Yeah, Brian will be just glad that this race is over. Hits the wall and tank slaps, just barely noses in the wall. Doesn't do too much damage, which is good. But I know he is ready for this race to end and that, because I mean this car and track combination is very difficult. Yeah, this is probably going to be one of our rougher races. Then oh no, oh dear. Just lost it. Oh, there. There it is. He towed right back to the pits. Yep, come back. Just all of a sudden that vehicle just went wicked on him, and yeah, major damage to the 16 or to the 10 of Brian Moore. And unfortunately, I think, yeah, he has called it a day. He and Frank have called it a day. Can't really blame them on that, as that when races like that happen, it stinks. Whoa, Cameron 2 laps down? Yep, Cameron Romano and Chris Hood are battling for position here. 2 laps down to the leaders. I didn't see what happened to Cameron. Let me look at the laps here and see. He didn't really have any that were too awfully slow, but somehow he did lose 2 laps to the leaders. Of course, on the lead lap, of course, leading is Christian Barnes. Nathan Sanchez has climbed up to P2. Derek Hilker, P3. Soji Sakata, P4. And Zach Davidson was P5. He's P4. Soji Sakata is P5 now. And those are the cars on the lead lap. Cameron Romano and Chris Hood, P6 and 7, 2 laps down. But Cameron seems to be able to make a charge. Something has happened to Soji's truck. Let's ride on with Soji Sakata and take a look and see what happened. See if anything happened to him over the last couple of laps. Stop! Stop going backwards! There we go. There it is. Just trying to get back around and see if he hit the wall or anything. That was when he got past. Yeah, he's just getting, it looks like it's getting tight. Oh, wow, we're getting ready to go to the stage break, so. Let's bring it up and watch Christian Barnes as he comes out here, coming to the stage in lap 50. We're on 50, coming to 51. It should be when P2 and P3 cross the line. And yellow should be throwing momentarily. Oh. Yeah, it didn't throw. Sorry guys, the yellow attempted to throw, but I had the text box up, so that's the reason it didn't throw on my end. There we go. Now the stage is over and they're going to be making their pit stops. I'm going to go to their BRB screen and I will be right back. I'm going to update the stage points, but I can't do Christians right now. Season.
Gary, I'm just assuming I gotta take my lucky dog in one pit. Done for.
Well, the stage points have been updated. Unfortunately, our leader did not have a, he hasn't raced enough here because we have 2 drop weeks. It's still holding him. Oh wait, is Soji in the, still in the thing? Oh, jeez. Oh, Soji, yep. We did do one. Christian's the only one I can't add the points to because he hasn't raced enough. So let's look back. And that, right now, after the stage break and the caution, Christian Barnes still leads. He's leading Derek Hilker, and then Sochi Sakata, Xavier Sanchez, and Zach Davidson. Cameron Romano will have an EOL for the Lucky Dog. Wow! Everybody's taking the inside line except for the 45 of Xavier, who moves up from 4th all the way up to the outside of row, and he is the lone car on the...
Don't forget, we're going to need black flag clear after the restart, Gary.
No, really? You don't say. I like giving Koji a lot of grief. But let's see how that goes for Xavier, the 45 truck, who does lose one position to Derek Hilker. And let's just see if Derek has anything for Christian Barnes. Of course, this last stage will have 44 laps. I don't remember. I know they're going to have to make at least one pit stop. I forgot exactly what I said. You know, I know we're running on 50% fuel, but I don't remember what the proper what the laps would be under that. But yeah, one day I'll have to go through. Of course, it's going through testing at the track, seeing how much fuel is left, because whenever we're doing a test session, offline test session, you can't set like fuel amounts to see what they do. It gives you a full fuel load, and you have to then do the math to say, okay, what's 30% of this, what's 50%, yada yada yada. But right now, although the top 4 are under a blanket, you know, everybody there is within, you know, 1.5 seconds. You know, Christian has a 6/10 of a lead over Derek, who's a 2/10 up over Xavier, who is ahead of Soji by 3/10 and 4/10. Cameron is 9/10 back, with Chris 1.2 back, you know, being 2 laps down, and Zach Davidson 1.5 seconds. But they're all in a line, going around this old racetrack. Of course, I'm bringing up information on Rockingham. I forgot to do this pre-race. There we go. Rockingham, built in and opened in 1965. It opened on October 27th, 1965, 60 years ago. What is the current configuration? Because I need to... I know they just repaved it recently, but I don't know if they reconditioned the so it doesn't say, but what are... There we go. Turns 1 and 2 are banked at 22 degrees, 3 and 4 at 25 degrees, with the straight with 6 degrees of banking. And all they did was pave over it back a couple of years ago when they revitalized not only Rockingham Speedway, but
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high.
Camerado, everybody.
That quote inspired by Carson's Waffle Butter.
I didn't know LeVar Burton was in attendance. Oh. I didn't know LeVar Burton was in attendance.
I'm glad somebody here got it.
Reading Rainbow. All right. Yeah, this has been a good battle to watch. You know what? Let's actually go on board with Soji on his root cam. Of course, looking ahead at the three cars in front of him, Christian, Derek, and Sabian. Here we go. We're looking at the number 45 Raise Energy vehicle here, driven by Xavier Sanchez out of Las Vegas, Nevada, as he tries to track down Derek Hilker, who is... Derek is one of our more consistent drivers. If he can not have everybody treat him like a pinball, he can go and make charges everywhere. He's a quick study when it comes to these when it comes to races, and you know, I know we always talk about it, but it was always impressive to me that he basically drives with one arm. That's all that he has access to, and I forgot what ailment he has. I don't know if it's multiple sclerosis or like cystic fibrosis, but he's also non-verbal with that, but he's able to drive with one hand.
It's cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy. Thanks, Cameron. Cerebral palsy. That's what it is. I'll forget that next week. Thank Cameron for being in the watching the stream and letting me know. But I mean, somebody with cerebral palsy and can race at this level and is one hell of a road course driver. It's impressive. I'm always impressed by Hilker. And then, of course, we're looking back on everybody now from Christian Barnes's Domino's number 27. I tell you, the kid's good. I don't know his age, but he is constantly up front. As I said before, 3.3 I rating, 3.3 thousand I rating. The next closest one in the field is Zach Davidson at 2.8. At least that's what I see here. Let's take a look. Frank 2.1, Brian 1.9, Chris 1.9 B class, Cameron 2.1, Zach 2.8, Xavier 1.9, Soji 1.7, and caution was out. Let's go and see what brought that out. Go back through the...
Tonight's oh shit moment of the race has been sponsored by Dude Wipes. For the Code Brown moment in my life.
I don't... Oh, that was Cameron. Oh, wow. Cameron just got wicked loose after tapping the wall. Went around, did a 360, kept going, and somehow Chris avoided him and just took a little damage to the rear end, but that could have been way worse. That was a hell of a save. That was a hell of a... Well, I shouldn't say save, but that was some fancy avoidance work. Of course, everybody's coming down into the pits to get 4 freshies and get some full fuel with 26 laps remaining here. All right. Let's go to the 27 car. 27's coming out. Soji out with P2. I think Derek might have stayed on track. Oh no, that was Chris. That was Chris getting, I believe, one of his laps back. He's coming into pit now. Oh, of course, he coming, clearing the black flag on Chris Hood for entering closed pits. I just saw that where I knew it was going to happen. There we go. I'm going to keep it on.
Could you verify my shoes? I don't know if it worked or if I got to go back for that one.
Checking right now. Let's check for 45, Xavier Sanchez. Comes up. He stays high. Oh, he stays high. Good shoes. You remained high as you come out of the restart zone, so it's all good.
Simple.
All right. Well, right now we're riding on. I've got the TV mix camera. We're starting with Xavier Sanchez, starting on his dash cam. There we go. As they come to the line, and with Christian Barnes leading them still. Cameron a little slow on the accelerating. I think he was just letting Chris pass. He might still have a little bit of damage at slowing him down. Xavier still on the outside, P2. Derek now looking on the, well, Soji blocked him, but he was looking. Ooh, this is cool. It keeps changing cameras. Yeah. And Soji now gets passed by Derek Hilker. And is under the attack from the 19 of Zach Davidson. So, yeah. Man, I mean, everybody here is putting on a great show. And of course, you know, Christian still scooting away, but it's amazing how everybody was able to keep up, and that may have been Christian trying to save fuel in that before the caution to be sure that he could make it the rest of the way. Of course, right now we have 21 laps remaining in the race, coming to 20 to go here next time they cross the line, and everybody here is doing a good job. Of course, we do feel bad for Brian and Frank, who unfortunately when disconnected earlier and finishing, you know, multiple laps down. But I tell you, that's one thing I like about the CSC Touring Championship is we have different car and track combos. Some are easier, some are harder. And like with this is a difficult track. You know, it's not your cookie cutter racetrack. This is something that they built in the 60s. NASCAR stopped using it in the early 2000s, and then are slowly starting to bring it back the last couple of years, where they had the former Xfinity series, or the O'Reilly's Auto Parts series come back, and they had the trucks with the O'Reilly's cars here Easter weekend. But yeah, we're having some good action here on track. The best fight right now is the 44 and the 45 here. Derek, of course, closed the lead down to 1.3 to Christian Barnes, and who is still 9/10 up ahead of this battle that we're watching. And of course, Zach Davidson only 4/10 off of this battle. These three cars battling for who will be the podium place finisher, the final of the podium. And as Sanchez just got into the wall a little bit, allowing Sakata to catch up. Of course, next week we'll be at Watkins Glen with the GT4 class. Soji will be doing the driver's eye camera, and hopefully we'll have it to where he can multi-stream to all 3 streaming platforms. And that while he is in the car, instead of doing the normal broadcasting stuff, just like we did at the Roval recently, where, you know, our CSC Catboy took the Toyota GR86 to victory lane, while he was battling the car that's battling him right now, just behind the 19 of Zach Davidson. Zach, of course, leading the most laps, and Soji just mounted a hell of a run at that race. Me, I was only able to go about half throttle because of my pedals being a little messed up. But one thing with the race next week is the practice session and the race session are both going to have rain that ends right as it goes, so the cars will have to be on wet tires, and we'll have no stage brake, and that is Xavier just hits the wall again, and the mandatory pit stop will be at driver's discretion when they feel that the tires warrant going dry, as both the 44 and the 19 get around Xavier, who had tapped the wall again. And that, so we still have nothing's really changed outside of the top 5, except for Xavier dropping back a little bit. Christian Barnes still leads Derek Hilker by 2.3 seconds. Derek, who is up 1.4 over Sochi Sakata, who is 0.3 up over Davidson. And Xavier is starting to fade back a little bit, dropping back to 0.8 of a second after couple of wall contacts. But yeah, race has been pretty good. Yeah, it does seem a little boring at times, but you know. Oh, Cameron Romano just, I think that was Romano. I just saw a thing pick up on him. Let's go and take a look at the 15 of Romano and see what happened. Oh, yep, just like before, comes off of the corner, hits the wall, and just tries to correct it, overcorrects, and spins around with the 13 able to avoid. Yo, for this, let's ride on board on the cockpit with the 15 on this. And we'll see as he goes into turns 1 and 2, he turns in, and the car is tight. The truck is tight because as you see how much it's turning and it's staying straight, hits the wall, makes a little bit of a correction, and he's locking it down. Luckily, Chris Hood was able to get around him. So let's ride on and see what this looked like from Chris's perspective. He sees the 15 go up and starts coming down and gets away with it. Luckily for him, he was able to get away with that and continue to save his car, which I believe he will be the lucky dog. Maybe. No, maybe not. That's yeah, Cameron, of course, with the most incident points, 12 right now. He's still 5 points away from having to serve a black flag. But yet, no, maybe it looks like on pit road. Pace car's coming to that. Cameron's rolling away now, out of the pits. Here comes Chris Hood out of the pits. Probably just taking tires and fuel. All right. Let's go to Christian. All right, I'm going to go back and look at that choose. Kristen, of course, staying in the low line. Everybody's staying in the low line except Zach, who made one move. Okay, that was a good choose from everybody. And now, the pace cars get ready to head off, and we're getting ready to come back racing here with Zach Davidson outside of Christian Barnes, Stoji on the inside of Xavier Sanchez, Derek, Cameron, and Chris rounding out the what's left of the field. Yep, Cameron Romano is one lap down. Oh, Zach Davidson just.
Flat clear, Gary. Thank you.
There we go. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 19. As it goes into the corner, just got loose. Oh, smacks the wall. Oh, with heavy right side damage to the 19 truck. He's still staying out there, but his truck is wounded. Oh, let's go back to the leader, where that could have been much worse there. I'm just glad that he didn't do any more. And hey, Frank, thank you so much for subbing. Sorry, I didn't hear the sound alerts. I have some of the stuff messed up, but I just looked over and saw that. Thank you so much for subscribing to us. It's always been a pleasure to race with you, bud. But yeah, this race, man, we are seeing a lot. Okay. And now we're coming 2 laps to go. Christian's still leading. He's leading Sochi Sakata in P2, Derek Hilker P3, Xavier P4, Chris Hood P5, and Cameron P6. Oh, what? No, P7. Christian, Soji, Derek, Xavier P4, Zach P5, white flag out for the final time around. No matter what happens, I cannot throw a caution. But man, I tell you what, Christian Barnes has just put a whooping on everybody. And it shows how talented that kid truly is. As he comes off, turns 3 and 4 to the line, Christian Barnes finishes P1. Soji Sakata brings up P2. Derek Hilker P3. Xavier Sanchez P4. Zach Davidson P5. And last car in the lead lap is Chris Hood in P6. Cameron Romano P7, 2 laps down. Well, maybe 2 laps down. Brian Moore P8 and Frank Wanset P9 after a lot of early stuff. So I'm going to give Christian a chance to go and get his celebration going. Let him do a little bit of his burnout.
Trex Jr. is going to be aggressive. Denny Hamlin out front. Aggressive goes around.
There we go. The mixed there on his donuts. Let me bring up our race winner and get a interview with the driver of the number 27, someone himself, Mr. Christian Barnes. Christian, you went out there and just showed out today with, leads of up to 5 seconds at one point and that, but that was a hell of a smacking you put on the field.
Yeah, it was a fun, it's a pretty fun track. It's a hard track, but
yeah,
once you get into a rhythm, it's, just one of those deals.
Yeah, but man, I tell you, you had, I don't think there was a lap you didn't lead unless it was under caution.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, did somebody take one of those laps, sneaking? And, but, if they did, good for them, But, yeah, I don't think I've ever led a race, start to finish. So that's kind of cool if I did.
Yeah. Well, hey, guarantee. Well, hey, there's one thing. I can't give you the stage points yet because, unfortunately, we do have 2 drop races, so I'll have to remember that and give you those extra 5 points. Since we have under 10, we only do like half the points there. P1 gets 5, and that. But you got bonus point for leading a lap, bonus point for leading the most laps, and the fastest time. You have done the trifecta. You have got everything.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, Christian, anybody that you want to give a shout out to here while you're parking your vehicle in Victory Lane?
I don't really know. I guess, yeah. I guess a shout out to all the drivers. It was a good race. Derek, especially, I think it was Derek.
Yeah.
I don't know his last name, but
yeah,
he was definitely keeping me honest, especially that second run. So
yeah,
I think if we, stayed green, or I'd say if he just had a better pit stop and he would have, lined up second behind me, I think it would have been a pretty good battle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
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 Hey, you know what? It's finally good to see Derek, not be the the hot car going out and leading most of the laps, but that's the way it typically goes. But few cars were in contention, like Zach Davidson, and then right at the end hits the wall, and that you've kept that Domino's vehicle looking cleaner than most of the delivery drivers do.
Yeah, do my best.
All right, Christian. Great win, and I'm going to send you back down to the boys. I'm going to bring up P2, Soji Sakata.
Appreciate it.
All right, here we go with Soji. Soji Sakata, P2.
Howdy. Didn't I just talk to you?
Yeah, said. Well, fine. I'll just send you back down. Fuck you. I'm kidding.
That's what I'm like. Hey, I think we just did this.
But no, I tell you were in some dog heat of a battle with Derek, Xavier, and Zach at times. But
I was. They were all giving me a good run for my money.
Yeah, I mean, there for a while, I just kept it on you guys because you guys were the closest battle. Christian was just like, hey guys, how's the air back there? As he just scoots away to everything.
I made the comment during the race. I'm like, this must be what it feels like in the truck series to race against Corey Heim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christian was in a class of his own tonight. Well-deserved win. I don't think any of us. Derek was the only one who had anything for him, but it was only at the end of a long run.
Yeah.
There was just nothing else there was nobody else who could take anything to him. I mean, he was consistently running faster than us every lap. Yeah. Even on my best laps, he'd pull away from me. But no, Derek, Xavier, and Zach, I tip my hat to all of them. They were all giving me a good run for my money there. And we were all dicing it up. And, all of them ran me clean, didn't have any trouble. I do feel bad, and I apologize to those who were affected by it. That last restart there, I got loose on the initial restart coming off of 2.
Yeah.
And I think that ended up stacking the field up behind me, and none of them wrecked hard enough to cause a caution, but they definitely hit the wall and stuff. And I apologize. That was not my intent. I was doing everything I could. I just said, uh-oh, and was, basically swatting bees on the wheel trying to keep it straight. So I'm lucky I didn't end my race right there.
Yeah. Zach had the same thing happen on that last restart to him, and Cameron.
That might have been part of that same chaos then, because I saw behind me they all got kind of shuffled around. Maybe that was partially Zach's loose there as well.
Yeah. He went up, smacked the wall, and it faded back. Of course, Cameron Romano, multiple times spinning and just keeping it off the walls, keeping it going, but bringing out a few caution flags with Chris Hood. Having Code Brown moment of the race, sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Yeah, him and Chris were having a particularly tough time tonight. They were they were definitely on the struggle bus. I know Brian was having that trouble too. I know he ended up, him and Frank both ended up PCing pretty early on. which is certainly unfortunate to see. You hate to see it for him, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, earlier today, Frank was talking about, how he couldn't figure out his breaking points and all that. But, I mean, as Christian alluded to, this is a difficult racetrack. It's a driver's racetrack. And the trucks, they're tough. I mean, it's not a cakewalk. With this.
Well, not only that, but they're incredibly fragile.
Yeah.
I mean, the initial wreck on lap 1 where Brent got turned and Cameron got into the back of him, that caused that little hit where Cameron just clipped his rear bumper. 4.5 minutes of optional damage from that one little dink.
Yeah.
Like in the next gen car, that's not even damage at all.
Well, it goes back to the Gen 6 race cars. People were bumping them like crazy, thinking they could bump like the next gens, and realizing they were messing up their bumpers and getting 4Xs, quickly. And it just it just shows how the next gen, it may be a rolling crap box, but it's a tough little box.
The next gen is tough as nails compared to this thing. It feels like you're driving around a glass vase with the trucks tonight.
Well,
I actually had in practice. I had an incident where I went out and I scuffed the wall on corner exit. Just what felt like a Darlington stripe. I didn't even hear that like shrieking metal sound effect you get in the game from when you hit the wall hard. I just heard the little just as I scuffed the right rear quarter.
Yeah.
And it knocked the toe out enough to turn my steering wheel 10 degrees right.
Yep.
And of all things, it was a 0X.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's incredible.
Well, yeah, I mean, we forget, the next gen and the O'Reilly's Auto Parts cars are composite bodies. These other this car, the late model, and a bunch of the other cars are basically sheet metal on tube steel.
And they show, because it's, I mean, these things they're a glass cannon. They're fast as all can be.
Yep.
But man, are they, and the truck in particular, I will say, I like the Xfinity car a lot better, the way it drives. The truck is either snow plowing tight or it is just wicked loose. Like tonight, I was just dumb tight on entry. Car wouldn't turn at all. But then you go to exit and you come off the corner and it's so wicked loose you're barely hanging on to it. And it's like, that's a bad recipe, especially on a tight little track like this.
Yeah. So, you want a little bit, I'm going to give you a little bit of a homework assignment over the next couple of weeks. I want you to look at the Kern setup for the SRX and see if there's any way you can loosen that thing up. Dear Lord, that thing tracks straight to the wall at Kern.
So that's SRX at Kern, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I looked and I tried a few things and I was like, I don't know anything. You're better at that stuff. So if you can make it better, great. But I was looking for setups off of like Major's Garage, and I even went to look at some of the other setup shops, and they don't have anything.
We are going to run are we running the asphalt track?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's the other thing, is that the SRX car is capable of doing asphalt and dirt.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like, so, and I mean, we could always keep that in our back pocket if we need to. If it's just not a good car track combo, we could always look at changing something if we need to, but honestly, let me see if I can work my magic first.
I even looked at it at Richmond, and it didn't track as much to the wall, but it was still tighter than some people's rear ends.
Yeah, you can get that sometimes. That's the unfortunate nature of the SRX car the way it is, because it's similarly built. Imagine breeding a 4th gen or a Gen 4 Nascar with a next gen. That's kind of what an SRX car is. It does have a composite body, and it is fully symmetrical, but it's still got a live rear axle instead of independent rear suspension. and it's got a lot more horsepower. I think they're pushing 900, so they're kind of a unique beast in how they're built. So I'll see if I can find something out for you.
All right. Well, right here I've got up the point standings. Derek, of course, still leading, 1,214 points to Zach Davidson's 1,192. Cameron Romano in P3, 1,139. Chris Hood with 1,114. I am still in 5th place with 1,057. Brian Moore in 6th with 906. Xavier in 7th with 889. We have Twig in 8th with 644 with the few races that he's run. Trevor, P9, 470. Nathan at 455 in P10. You're P11 with 446 points.
Let's go.
And you're still not dead last. 12th is Frank Wanset, because I believe this is only the second race he run, with 332 points. And rounding out the 13th position is DJ Sikama with 330 points. And hopefully soon we can get it to where we can have more people race. But it's still a good battle for the top positions. But yeah, today Christian Barnes wins the race, leads all the laps, finishes first in the stage, and sets the fastest lap. So he claimed all the points.
Like I said, he was in a league of his own tonight for sure.
Yeah.
And yes, there is rumor. Frank in chat. There's rumor GT3 car will be hitting the track again later this month.
Oh yeah.
And I will be part of that driving crew. We're taking it to Fuji. So
Fuji. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A short race, a little 3-hour endeavor for us, but so luckily not a all-day affair, but should be a good time nonetheless.
Well, is that are you talking later in April, or is that in May?
I think it's April. Might be beginning of May. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me look up the 3 hours of Fuji.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, of course, Frank come in with the resub here. And Cameron played I didn't hear it, but 13 minutes ago played Aggressive Goes Around. Unfortunately, I cannot hear the blurps right now. And I can't hear the I have the alert set up for everything with Botrix, so all the alerts are coming in, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. So yay.
Makes sense.
But yeah.
I don't see it on the special events calendar, so I'm not sure exactly what day it's next Saturday. Okay, so it's next weekend.
Oh, okay, the 25th. So,
it's coming up. I didn't know when. I knew he said it was coming up soon. I didn't realize it was that soon.
What's the time for that one?
That'd be a question for Frank. I don't
know.
Okay.
Well, maybe he'll.
I don't do any of the organization or the logistics.
Oh yeah,
on that. That's,
next Saturday.
Being that it's Frank's team, he says, "Hey, we're racing," and I
you
say,
show
okay,
up.
I'll be there.
You show up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, hopefully, here soon we can get it to where you can multi-stream and stream it over to both your Twitch and YouTube, because I don't have the track and I don't have the time to be able. I don't have the spare funds to be able to look at getting another track right now. So best of luck to you guys out there. 1 p.m. Okay, so it'll be 2 Eastern time, and that with 3 hours put you up to 5, and then you'll be back at 9 with the CSC at Watkins Glen. Let's see, where are we at next week for late models schedule? Oh, we'll be at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas on the 24th for 125 laps. And then next week here at the Touring Championship, we'll be Watkins Glen with the GT4s. That should be some fun racing.
The stock tune on Kern is actually working fine. You just have to drive it like it's Martinsville.
Oh, okay. Go slow as hell. Go slow as balls.
It is agonizingly slow. You have to think I'm driving Martinsville, even though it's bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, once you do that, works fine. So
Well,
nothing
good.
wrong with the tune. Just try driving it a little different.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll if my family's in, I'm going to skip, or even if they leave, I may skip that race.
Fair enough. If you want to practice, good lap times 19.2 to 5 are what I'm able to be putting down right now. So
yeah,
that gives you any kind of context. Actually, scratch that. I just clocked a 19.146.
Yeah,
so,
and Davian says, home track for him, of course, being from Las Vegas. Yeah, he'll be.
I forget this is out in that neck of the woods.
Yeah. No. All right.
Yeah,
well,
car actually feels really good here now that I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. Well,
I spun it. Okay, yeah, I deserve that.
Yeah. Karma exists. Yes.
Yep, now, I had that one coming.
For some reason, I feel like I feel like Jeremy Clarkson going yes whenever Richard Hammond or James May spins.
Something like that.
All right. Well, hey, for Soji here, I'm Gary. This has been the CSC Touring Championship here from Rockingham, North Carolina. And we're going to be out. Take care, or peace out and take care.
See you next week.